So this is Lover's Key. We're heading back towards Fort Myers Beach, and here we are. This is the pile as it is beginning, and I was just absolutely unbelievably amazed at how much sand there was. And then it continued to grow and grow. You see all them dump trucks; they're all waiting to be dumped. There were times when I drove down the towards Bonita from Fort Myers Beach, and I counted as many as 50 dump trucks. And they had excavators and loaders, and they're just loading them and loading them and loading them. That pile right there is 6 to 7 stories tall. So what they're doing here is they are taking that sand and they're bringing it from Bonita. This is primarily the sand pile from Bonita. There's another sand pile that's not quite as tall as this, but it's almost as big as this, and it's down at the town hall area in Fort Myers Beach. So that green machine right there, that machine is sifting through all of this debris, all this sand, and getting the debris out of it. And then they're going to haul it back down there and put it back on the beach. So the whole reason that they're doing this is to get the contaminants out of the out of the sand. So if you look at the green sifting machine here, this is a it's a conveyor belt sifting machine. The reason they got the conveyor belt is so they can get it up high enough so that they can make the piles. If you look there at there's a long conveyor belt and there's a short conveyor belt. The short conveyor belt has all of the contaminants that are coming out of the sand. So the sand is basically, you put it in there, it shakes it, and it sifts it, and and the little bit of debris gets put into two different piles there. There's the small debris, it's over here on the left, and the larger debris gets put over here in this other pile. So the two different things. So this machine right here, it's probably at least a $500,000 worth of a machinery, and it looks brand spanking new. So they may have ordered it just for this purpose. The pile behind here, now that is the debris coming off of Fort Myers Beach from Hurricane Milton. That's the people who got flooded out again. So you see all the equipment here. This is Andrew's contracting, which I had no idea they were this big. They did a bunch of work in Bonita, and I got friendly with one of the guys there. They were putting in some sidewalks on Imperial Shores, and I got to know them guys a little bit. And I had no idea. I had no idea. I thought they were a really tiny operation. So that excavator, the orange excavator, basically what he's doing is he's feeding the machine that is cleaning the sand, and you can only go so fast. So what they're going to do is they're going to get way ahead um, on this, so that they're not holding up the trucks, because that's only probably about 6 or 8 or 10 trucks loads. And then they're going to take that whole pile and they're just going to um, go through the whole thing and just put it right back on the beach. The that the buildings and stuff that are down from here, that's all of the marshaling. That's the cargo marshaling area, the material marshaling area, and the administrative offices for the bridge that they're putting in over Big Carlos Pass. So yeah, you wonder where the sand comes from. Well, this is where the sand comes from. So this is after Hurricane Milton came in, and this is the mess that it made. So that's Lynn Hall Park right there. You just saw Town Hall, or Times Square rather, and look at this. It's still coming across right here. It's coming across here in a small way. Look at this. This is actually Estero Boulevard down on the north end of Estero Boulevard, and this is us going towards Bowditch Point Park. Look at all the water, and look at the sand dunes that have been pushed over onto Estero Boulevard. Now, all this sand ended up in a different pile, and that pile is at the town hall, the old town hall location. See these big sand washouts onto the road. They actually took a loader through here and made a path before anybody could get started coming back on the island, and you can see where the ocean washed over onto Estero Boulevard all the way down through here. So all of that sand, the majority of that sand, not all of it, has been cleaned up and it's been put back onto that parcel. That's Hudson's car right there. He's the one doing this drone footage. That's Newton Park. We just passed the Strand View that we tore down. Meanwhile, that's my truck up there in the far left-hand part of the screen, and there's somebody right behind me. And we're basically having the drone follow us. You can see how flooded it is still in these areas, and you see all of this the sand that's been displaced. If you look up along the buildings, and you look in between the buildings, and you look on Estero Boulevard, that's where all the sand is. Look at these seawalls here. You see all those dead men? Those are the supports to hold the wall up, and there's big concrete things called dead men that are holding that wall in place. The water is still hitting that. We're still getting some storm surge. The beaches here, I thought we lost a tremendous amount of sand, and we did. That's a lot of sand right there. Look at that. But it not only pushed sand and brought the elevation down over on the beach, which I didn't think it really hurt. That's my truck. But it also pulled sand back at the same time. And isn't this unbelievable? It's like a snowstorm up north. Look at that. Can you believe the magnitude of that? Can you believe how much sand there is? Now, this is Estero Boulevard, and this is the Fort Myers Beach stuff. And again, that big gigantic sand pile, that's all the sand coming from Bonita. So all this sand down through here, all of these trucks, all of these loaders, all working just to get Estero Boulevard back opened up, so we didn't have like a one-lane highway for an extended period of time. So you talk about the force of Mother Nature. Now that is the pile. That's the pile, and that's on the old town hall property, and it's that is an early version of this. It is ginormous compared to that. It goes all the way across and very far out towards the street. It's a lot bigger parcel, a lot bigger spot to use than they have down there on Lover's Key. And those are Lee County trucks. They have all kinds of trucks that they use for this. And you can see the traffic coming through, and they're just getting started on cleanup again. Hurricane Helene came in. We had a huge mess from that. And then right after that, within 2 weeks, we got hit with Milton. And this is what we've been doing. So they're bringing the sand up here. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to run it through a sifting machine, and they're going to clean out all the debris, and they're going to put it right back on the beach. So this is Dave Lockwood, Remove It Pros Demolition, and we're just bringing you and showing you some interesting stuff that we've seen after these two hurricanes came through. Both of these hurricanes were over 100 miles away, and their storm surge still did this to our island. So Godspeed. Hopefully everybody gets everything put back together, and hopefully we don't get hit again for 4 or 5 or 10 years maybe. So we'll see you on the next video.